The Rustbelt Revival, a Detroit story of grit and second chances. The old factory on Michigan Avenue was a skeleton of its former self. For decades, the Motor City Manufacturing sign had been fading, its letters rusting under the gray Detroit sky. To most people, it was a monument to a bygone era, a hollowed-out shell waiting for the wrecking ball. But to 28-year-old Marcus Wright, peering through the chain-link fence, it wasn't an end. It was a blank page. He saw past the broken windows and the graffiti-scarred walls. In his mind's eye, he saw workbenches humming with activity, heard the friendly shout of a coworker over the sound of power tools, and smelled fresh coffee from a pot that was always on. He saw a future where things were built with purpose and pride again, right here in the heart of America. The blueprint on a napkin. Later that evening, at a corner booth in Lou's Diner, Marcus smoothed out a napkin covered in frantic sketches. Across from him, sipping a black coffee, was his former shop teacher, now retired master machinist, Frank O'Malley. "An artisan cooperative?" Frank grunted, adjusting his glasses. "You mean a shared workshop? Son, that's a mighty big dream for an empty building." "It's not just a workshop, Mr. O'Malley," Marcus insisted, his finger tracing a circle on the napkin. "We get carpenters, welders, techies, artists, all under one roof. We share the rent, the tools, the overhead. We help each other find clients. We bring manufacturing back to the city, just on a different scale, a human scale." Frank was silent for a long moment, watching the rain streak down the diner's window. He saw the same fire in Marcus's eyes that he had seen in his own father's, a man who had clocked in at the Chrysler plant for 40 years. "All right, kid, you've got the vision. I've got the tools and a little savings. Let's see if we can wake that old giant up." The sparks began to fly. The first month was pure grind. They spent weeks just clearing out decades of debris. They patched the roof, rewired what they could, and scrubbed the concrete floors until their arms ached. Word spread through the local community, and soon they weren't alone. Chloe, a graphic designer from Royal Oak, set up a sleek workstation and designed their logo and website. Miguel, a brilliant welder from Southwest Detroit, built custom furniture from scrap metal found in the building. Old Mrs. Gable from the flower shop down the street even stopped by to commission a new, more sturdy display stand. The cavernous space began to transform. The screech of a power saw was followed by laughter. The buzz of a MIG welder cast an electric blue glow against the brick walls. The smell of dust and mildew was replaced by the scent of fresh-cut pine and strong coffee. It was no longer a relic, it was a workshop. It was alive. A community, not just a business. The real success wasn't measured just in sales, but in the community that formed within those walls. Miguel taught Marcus how to weld a clean bead. Chloe helped Marcus build the shelves for her studio. Frank held Saturday morning workshops for local kids, showing them how to build a birdhouse, passing on skills that were in danger of being forgotten. They named their venture the Rustbelt Revival. It wasn't about trying to recreate the past, it was about taking the city's raw industrial DNA and forging something new, something resilient and uniquely theirs. One evening, as the setting sun streamed through the now clean windows, painting the space in shades of gold, Marcus and Frank stood by the entrance, looking in. The sound of a folk musician from Ferndale testing a sound system echoed softly through the hall. Frank clapped a hand on Marcus's shoulder, his eyes glistening. "You did it, kid. You really did it."
Marcus shook his head, watching Chloe and Miguel debate the best place to hang a new piece of art. "No, sir," he said softly. "We did it." The factory on Michigan Avenue was no longer a skeleton. It had a heart, and it was beating stronger than ever.